Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you.
Welcome.
Мы находимся на производстве Larson. Здесь делается дополнительное оборудование, которое необходимо для того, чтобы сделать жесткие контактные линзы. Сначала они обтачиваются на станках, а затем линзы полируются на специальных полировщиках. Кроме того, для производства на станке линзу нужно предварительно заблокировать на специальном держателе. И здесь компания Larson производит держатель, на который фиксируется линза. I just describe about our technician, where we are, what we will do here. So
Okay, well, we are here. This is our factory for manufacturing our blocking machines and also polishing machines. And we'll give you just a quick tour. This is the assembly area, and this is the machine that we'll actually be demonstrating for you today. It's a little bit more advanced than the machine that you guys purchased, but it's basically the same. So, if you come this way, this is our lathe that we will use for showing you how to calibrate, and it's very precise. And a few more things that we'll get into in a bit later. But back here is our machine shop, and we make most of the metal components on every single machine. So we're able to do, potential custom things, but this is our machine shop. So we do purchase, the motors and the electrical components, but anything that is metal that you see on the machines was made right here. So we've got our CNC mill, got workspace, a couple of CNC lathes. The other thing that we do here is also we make the arbing, the blocking. We make the blocking tools here as well. So any custom geometry you need can be made here as well. So come all the way back. And let me flip the light on. And again, just more machine shop. Got a couple of saws, some manual lathes. And back here, this very large machine is called a centerless grinder, and that actually is able to make the outside diameter of the arbors exactly precise. So we're talking, our collets are 12.7 millimeters. This will make sure that it is 12.6995.
wow,
It's
very precise.
very precise, yeah. So, that's pretty much the tour.
Yes.
And, we obviously, I'm sure you heard from Eric that we've been in business since 1981, and we sell all over the world. And
oh yeah, we can look at the map here.
oh yeah, we have a map with
Wow.
these pins are, our customers all over the world.
We
So
actually have more here and Africa and throughout here.
yeah, we haven't
all
updated
over
this
the
in a few
region.
years, but we
There's
have
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
yeah.
So where's your city? Is
Astana.
Astana right there,
Yes, Astana.
the capital. Okay.
Capital, yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's a big country.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
could you turn and I put a picture.
Makes a lot of chips off of these parts and makes precision parts. I'll take this one.
Wow.
See this surface? Mm-hmm. We have a grinding machine in the back that makes them flat. So all of our parts have to be really flat. And on all the blocking, all that stuff's got to be perfect.
Okay.
So, well, let's see. I think it's time to go ahead and make some lenses. So,
Так, Народ Ильич, извините, пожалуйста, а вопрос.
you don't have that. You don't need that. But they tend to order that way. So anyway, it's ready to go, and we'll use that in a few minutes. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you each of these
Okay.
so you can kind of follow along, and you can make notes if you want. And so where's my copy? Is it in? Okay, let me.
If I put my
Yeah,
cup,
excuse me
okay?
here.
Так, мид.
So that is a corneal RGP
Yeah.
lens blank.
Lens blank. Okay.
This is a scleral
Sclerals,
lens
yes.
blank.
Lego.
Да, он больше.
Okay.
Okay. So in your operation, you want your technician to not have to worry about these two and just say, okay, I'm going to make these lenses. So the very first step is that we need to, everything, these are arbors. These things,
This is arbors.
these are called arbors.
Okay.
So all of those are arbors.
Так это склеральная линза.
Это таблеточка,
Таблеточки,
заготовочка.
да.
Не
Так,
кидайте,
это
аккуратненько
таблеточки.
кладите, да.
Для
А это,
жестких.
да, а это арбор, это
Блокировщик.
да, как бы, ну, на что они блокируются. Мгм.
So we never hold the lens blank. Your lathe has a similar
Yes.
holder.
Yeah.
We never put this in here directly.
Yes.
No.
Ага.
And even this, no. We don't put that. We always put them on arbors.
Arbors. Yes.
And there's a few reasons for that. The arbors are precision. This is a perfectly 12.7 diameter. If you do this,
Yes. And
feel that?
yes.
Very smooth.
Smooth. Yes. Очень
So-
гладкая поверхность, поэтому мы всегда фиксируем именно арбор, а не таблетку.
Use your finger. See that? The big machine in the back, that great big machine, that has a grinding wheel, and we put these through there and it grinds it. So we make these 12.8 on this machine, and then we put it in there and we make them to 12.7. So they're very precise. So that, you know, is good. This, you don't know if it's good. You bought these in hundreds. It's pretty
Okay,
good.
yes.
It may be good, but it may not be good. So we don't want to worry about that. We don't want to worry about anything. So the first thing we do is we lay that in there, and we take this and we look through. See, that's hollow. You put that on there, and that's it. That's all there is to it. Now, if you look very closely, it may not be perfectly centered. It may be offset a tiny bit, but that doesn't matter.
Yes, I
The
agree.
reason is we cut everything away.
Yes, absolutely.
So then we go in here. Now let's see, where are we? Blocking. So we did that. So let's. Can I get me another pen there, Andrew?
Без воска, да?
What you put between blank
This
and
is
arbor?
wax.
This is wax.
See?
Very thin.
Yeah, about 0.5 millimeter. See it?
Okay.
Вот тлеющее вещество. Такое вот.
Да, короче,
Не
у них тут
воск,
wax. This is warm.
подогревом еще.
This is warm.
Yeah, it's about 50 degrees centigrade, I think. You can buy this. This is like $20. I don't know what in Kazakh money, but you can buy this anywhere. And then we make this little plate. So we did that, and then to continue on,
Если мы соединили это вещество для точности.
Короче, на этой
for
платформочке
scleral lenses,
расплавленный воск.
you just
И
put
он
that on
просто-
there like that,
Просто прижимает ручками.
and that's done.
Да, то есть
Actually, I should have
они
used
там
a.
постояли, потом он их соединил.
Let me use a different one here. Let me this one here. Okay.
Вот он взял арбор оттуда прям с платформы и присоединил. Все, прижал. Все,
So
отлично.
that's now we have.
И то есть прям вот тут на платформочке
These
подогревается
are now
воск
ready
тонким
to
слоем.
cut the base curve.
Теперь они готовы для того, чтобы точить.
Okay. Now, if you'll notice, they're the same height.
Обратите внимание, что они одинаковой высоты, хотя таблетки разные по толщине. То есть отдельный арбор для склеральной, отдельный для роговичной линзы.
And from a manufacturing point of view, in the lathe, you're going to put these in. This will go to there, and when the lathe moves to it, it comes in quickly and then finds this and then cuts it. If this was out here, you'd have to come in slow. So you want this surface. This will be the same surface.
Чтобы получить ту же самую поверхность,
See,
нужно,
that's
чтобы
about
расстояние
the same
было,
length.
чтобы было то же самое расстояние.
That way you can have a very small window of when the probe comes in quickly and then stops. So that makes things more efficient. So the lathe will come in and it thinks, I'm going to come in fast and then I got 3 millimeters to finish. And it'll be the same for this and the same. So that's the reason that we use these arbors because they're made for that. So now, this is a, probably a 50-year-old machine.
Машинке 50 лет.
But what we use it, we don't make lenses here. What we use it for is that it's very high precision because we use it to calibrate the blockers. And you need to have this. You need one of these when you get the lathe. So you'll need to confirm that you get one. This is a 2 microns.
Это измеритель микрометр с шагом в 2 микрона. This is magnet, and
Yeah.
they stay on machine.
Yeah.
Yes, we saw it in DAC. И они сказали, что они нам дадут, да, по-моему, такую штуку?
Там, да.
Да.
So you're getting one.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Each line, each little line is 2 microns.
Каждое деление 2 микрона.
That's very, very small. That's about, let me think. Your hair is about 100 microns.
Really?
Yeah.
Короче, мой волос это
So
100
this is
микрон, а здесь 2
very,
микрона.
very small.
Очень,
very
очень
small.
маленький
Okay?
шаг. Этот станок они не используют для точения линз, они используют его для калибровки. Да.
So you come over here.
Так, встаем с этой стороны.
See how I'm moving this?
Да, yes, we see. Вау!
Yeah. That's why we have this machine.
Вот почему мы имеем у нас это машина. Короче, он крутит этот штифт, и колебания на одно деление в одну сторону, ну, даже, может, чуть побольше, на одно деление в другую сторону. 4
Another.
микрона.
Okay, so that's right on, centered, perfectly centered. Almost.
То есть это
With that
значит, что
two,
очень...
2 microns, right?
Это значит, что она хорошо центрирована, 2 микрона. Вот эта штука.
Yeah, maybe 3 microns.
Yes,
something.
free, yes.
Okay. So that, we know this is good.
Да, окей.
You're going to do the same thing on your lathe every day.
Каждый день нужно проверять соосность станка с помощью этого микрометра. Every day, every morning.
Just in the morning. It takes
In
you,
the morning, yes.
3 minutes. Just
Isn't-
check it. The other thing is
Другая вещь, которую нужно сделать.
this. We want things straight this way, right? So if you watch this,
Нужно еще как бы крутить вдоль. Не только по кругу, да, пройти, что он не отклоняется, но и вдоль, что у вас ровная поверхность.
so that's pretty good for a 50-year-old machine.
Yes.
So this we know this is good. Now
Так, мы знаем,
take
что эта
this
штука
out,
как бы
and
нормальная.
this is called a gauge pin. It's got, where is it? Well, I can't see it, but you receive this with the blocking machine. It's got a little bag. It's a registered precision pin, and so that's.
Мы получим такую штуку с блокировочной машиной.
Now I block these together on the lathe on the mill over there. I'm the blocking
А
machine.
вы взяли нашу коробку с этими, с нашими арборами?
Oops. What did I- Sorry.
Я думала, возьмете, мы линзы хотя бы посмотрели, как там край сделан, полировать их, дополировать. Не взяли, да?
Now you can see this has got a little bit of movement, but it's still
Так, проверяем наш арбор. Ага.
plenty good. Anything within 10 microns is fine. So we know that we're good to go there.
В общем, шаг 10 микрон для этих пластиковых штучек нормально.
So now, what we would do is you go to your lathe and you cut the base curve, okay? So then it looks like, I'm just going to do this here. So once you cut this is what you're going to look like,
Yes,
right?
already done.
Okay, so now we go over there.
Теперь мы, вытащив
And
заднюю
also,
поверхность, идем дальше.
This one we'll put on, not that one.
Короче, вот так воск там растоплен. Просто прижимает ручками,
Okay.
без всякого
Now,
блокировщика.
we'll pretend that, we cut this base curve on here, so we know it's perfectly, this one exactly the same. This surface here is perfectly aligned with this in our, we imagine that, because I'm not going to do it here. So now, let's see, we got to get some.
Теперь, когда мы выточили заднюю поверхность, идем дальше.
Now, if you recall yesterday, we talked about making the arbors the same shape as this. So these are two different arbors. This one is pretty good, near as I can tell.
Если реально, да, цветной?
This
Да.
one,
Not
see,
so
it's
good.
not so good. But you would actually turn these from your design of this surface.
Okay, I
So
see.
so that you want about 0.2 millimeters of wax uniform shape. So I can maybe I can do a
Eric, we need to make with different curve.
for the
Yes.
for the scleros. Yeah, so there'll be different colors of arbors
Okay.
that you can see that these are a little bit different. You see?
Yes, I see. I
They're
know.
a little bit
this
different.
is more steep, this is more flat.
Yeah.
But the step might be
Say 1 millimeter of radius. So it's
1
not
millimeter.
not very precise,
Oh.
but it's okay. Yeah. So I mean, like 5 or 6 of these would be fine.
отлично. Значит, шагом в 1 миллиметр нужно сделать разные кривизны, особенно если речь идет о склеральных линзах, потому что для них это важно. Иначе не будет хорошего соответствия, неправильно будет толщина. И это может привести к деформации линзы. Поэтому если делать склеральные линзы, то там должны быть арборы с разной кривизной, шаг 1 миллиметр. Это примерно там 7-8 штук. Okay.
I forgot this. So when you have turned these, you need to know the center thickness. So you put that on here. That's the reason why it's hollow. And that is 3.47 millimeters thick.
Okay.
Then you need to record that number on your work order. And in this case,
I have a question
okay,
about wax on the other side. Is
no,
it
no wax
no wax? Oh.
because it's
Yes, because we put. Yes, I see. Okay, thank you.
that's yeah. See, there's no wax in there.
Из-за того, что у нас дырявая эта штучка, у нас там воска нету, поэтому размер
that-
будет точный.
Yeah.
It's interesting that because we measure only one time before cutting when we were on
Yeah, you
duck.
can do that too.
Yes, we measure only one time the all thickness
Yeah,
of blank,
that's okay.
but never measure after cutting.
And it basically it depends on the software
Это зависит от
in
софтвера.
the lathe. So if it's set up to measure the lens blank thickness, you're fine. But you still need to measure that somehow. And in this case, this is a lot. Most labs don't. Well, if you don't use a DAC lathe, you have to use this system. So that's why we're providing this. But you need a thickness gauge anyway. So this is part of your order.
Thank you for your explanation.
So
Yes.
in this case, we want to know the thickness. And see, that's 4.41.
Да, обязательно после того, как измерили, получается, обратную сторону, меряем толщину. Окей, записываем.
And this post and this hole makes sure it's centered. So that works very well. So basically, you cut the base curve, and then you measure. Well, we would measure center thickness, but in your case, you can measure the overall button thickness first.
I don't know how we will do in
Well, this gives you
future.
two options.
Okay. Yes, two options. Yes.
So now, now we're ready to block the lens. So could you bring me the deblocking tool over here? Because I guess we're going to be doing
The
this here.
thickness of this and this the same, because if we
Right.
move the lens, the
Right.
center thickness will be not the same.
Right.
Because
Right. Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, that's why this is all centered and aligned to give you a good reading. So now we put this, and this again is fundamental to the process, and this is more the technician is going to be interested in this. But so we put, and you'll notice that this, see that?
Wow. Так, ага.
The reason being is because these was what 3.5 millimeters thick,
Так.
and this one was like 4.5. But for blocking, we want the wax thickness to be the same. So somehow the blocking machine has to be able to measure that to give the right amount of wax thickness. So this machine does that automatically. And if you use this system, then it's no problem. If you do these without the arbors, you just can't do it. You don't know how far it's coming down. And so this gives you that. Now this, in this case, for a keratoconus lens, you might want to make this, let me get my measuring stick here. Now, this is 10 millimeters
Okay.
right there. And it's, well, anyway, so 10 millimeters there. So that would be too big for a reverse, for a Ortho-K lens.
Yes.
So in the Ortho-K lens, we want to make this maybe 6 millimeters, like that. So it fits up inside to the base curve. And this is about a 7 millimeter radius, so you might want to redo that to maybe a 9 millimeter radius. And so that's okay. And you're making mostly Ortho-K lenses, so you might want to modify these to the 6 millimeter diameter. That way it fits inside the base curve, right?
Okay. It's interesting because we have only like this with
Well, right-
with
yeah,
big,
right now-
place.
What you have is a flat curve,
Yeah,
and
yes,
then steep.
and the alignment curve.
right? And then in that case, that's going to ride on this junction of the
Yes,
periphery, and
yes.
you're going to have a lot of wax
Yes,
in there,
yes.
and that's going to shrink. Again, optically, it's a problem, but you don't care about that. So I don't, you'll have to see if it makes any difference on the lens.
Yes, we have to try to check it. It's
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
it may not make any difference because your optics you don't really care about. So that's up to you. If you do want good optics, you probably ought to turn that down to 6 millimeters. Now the other thing is for a keratoconus lens, you might want to turn like a 5 millimeter radius on it, whatever that is. So you don't need a lot of these. I think all of your keratoconus lenses could be the same radius, 5.5 millimeters, say, and all of your Ortho-K lenses could be the 9 millimeter with the 6 millimeter head. So there's only two sizes, and then maybe just leave these if you're doing corneal lenses, regular spheres and stuff. So you have to think about
It's
that.
interesting because now we made the lens with very small optic zone for children,
Yeah.
5 millimeter, 5.5. So
Will come in and you'll work with your technician on that. And I wouldn't spend a lot of time on it because if, Ortho-K lenses, it may not matter as far as the optical quality. But that, it's up to you. Okay, so now the other notice is that all of the blocking arbors are the same height. Let's go ahead and take this off of here. You see, they're the same height, pretty close.
yeah,
And that's again in production. We don't want something really short and then something really long, where the lathe has to slew a lot. So this is a production feature that all of the we call it tooling is in our, when we talk here, the small bits are called tooling, or we can call them arbors. So those are two terms that are interchangeable. So anyway, we'll put this on here, and there's an automatic sensor in here that closes it. And we found that without that, sometimes the operator doesn't put it all the way up. And the heights on this is important. So that guarantees that it's done right. So there's a lot of smart things in the machine that the operator has to do in order to operate it correctly. So now, when I push the buttons, it's going to come down to gauge and set the height of the base curve. And that then it'll retract, and this dispenser will come in and dispense the wax. And then the head will come down again, and it will have if you look carefully right here, that goes over in place of that stop, so it limits the drop of this by 0.2 millimeters, and that's what gives you your wax. So we'll do it on this one, and you'll see how it works. So here we go. See how it pushes it down? Now it's locked.
Воск.
То есть он сначала померил.
Now if you put your hand in there,
Yeah, I feel, yes.
Yeah.
I feel. Ветерочек дует. Он сначала измерил, насколько ему опускаться, потом капнул воск, и только потом опустился. Да.
now there's a timer on the back that you can switch.
How long time?
I don't know. I'll look.
Я думаю, что у него таймер стоит.
That's 20 seconds
20
right now.
секунд.
But we have 30 and 10 also.
От 10 до 30 секунд, может быть. It depends on wax or what?
Well, on the size.
Тут датчики вот есть.
Yeah, very simple.
Так,
The,
я с этой стороны, вы стой.
Scleral lenses, you want to use 30 because they're big.
Scleral. For scleral, 30 minutes? Okay.
Seconds.
Seconds, of
Yeah.
course, yes.
Yeah, we
Здесь
want to
надо
get.
будет параметры выставлять.
Okay.
О, погодите.
Wow.
We
So-
put all of this on the back because the operator's not supposed to touch this.
Они все это поставили назад, чтобы оператор ничего не трогал.
Нам
Who
нужны настройки.
who will calibrate?
Well, you can. So you set. This is the temperature of the wax
Так, это температура.
in C. So I can change that,
Окей, можно изменить температуру.
and that's a good temperature for this wax. So
Температура воска, да?
we don't want it real hot because we're putting it in the base curve. Because there's two dispensers, we have two controllers.
Здесь два контроллера, потому что здесь два диспенсера. У нас будет один диспенсер.
Yours will have one.
Вот,
Yes.
здесь, да?
Like this,
If
maybe.
you look in here, you see the wax.
Вот воск надевается, да? Здесь?
This is second. This is two wax.
Well, sometimes they want a different wax if they're making a hard lens and soft lens, or
No, I
sometimes a
see.
different amount, corneals and sclerals.
Значит, иногда наливают разный воск, если делают разные линзы, например, жесткие и мягкие. И воск нужен разный, поэтому два отдельных. У нас будет один, потому что у нас делается как бы один тип
Ну,
линз.
если один сломается, можешь таким же пользоваться, да?
У вас будет один.
Один у нас будет?
Да, вы купили с одним. Окей.
So it's simple. You know,
Yes, yes,
we give
okay.
people what they
Ну,
want.
да, купить же можно потом.
This is what they call system pressure. So this is the pressure from a hose, from the air system. So you
Air
have a
system, okay.
compressor.
Yes, we have a
Yes,
compressor, and we need information how to connect compressor with machine. This is important.
Yeah. Well,
This
first of all of that has a dryer and a cleaner, so you have very clean air. Right?
Okay. Yes.
For the lathes,
Yes.
use the same
yeah.
air for this.
Yeah.
Вот она шина.
And then
Откуда вы знаете?
Потому что одна только здесь стоит, и вот одна.
Я не знаю.
Yeah. So anyway, we set, so this here
System pressure.
will be about maybe 7 or 8 bar.
Sorry.
Do you know what that means?
Please,
Your system.
okay, just repeat please about bar.
Okay, your system will probably be about 8 bar
8 bar, okay.
or 7 or 8, something like that. This one wants about 6.5.
Здесь 6,5 в
You
этой
can
системе.
you see the red numbers? The red numbers? That's bar. So we're about 6.5.
6,5 бар здесь давление.
And this here changes that. See that?
Можно подкрутить.
Регулировать может давление.
And this one we run about 3 bar, and that works pretty good. Yeah.
Ну для чего?
Okay. This is from system. This is for,
This is the lower lens
Yes.
collet.
sorry, this is in, this is out. Or
No,
not?
this is the whole machine, system pressure for the whole machine.
Yes.
And then we this one for the lower collet, the lower chuck here. We put that on there. I notice it says lens pressure instead of, which I guess is okay. So
lens blade.
yeah, it should be lower collet. But anyway, then this here is a manual lower collet. You can actually activate the collet just manually.
Collet это который удерживает эту штуку. Это для нее
We
давление.
don't use that very often, but once in a while it's nice to close it just manually. So
Вот
that's on.
секунду выставляем, да, 20, 10, 30
That's the
секунд.
cooling time.
Охлаждение, кулинг.
This here actuates this, so you can go here, watch this. So when you're putting wax in, you want to pump it through a few times, and it puts a little bit of wax on there. This is your main switch, fuses for safety, and then your power cord. This is 240 volts.
Здесь
You run 240 volts? I think so.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
Does he know?
Вы знаете, значит, how many volts?
240.
240, 240 вольт, ватт, 240.
220 вольт.
Вы,
У
ну,
нас сколько?
220.
Не, у нас спрашивает, сколько он, нет?
Нет, да, он говорит, у нас сколько?
Ну, 220,
220.
220.
220, 240?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Basically, we got 110 here in the United States, and then for the rest of the world, it's 220.
220, yes.
So that's what this is. We have a special power supply for that.
Вон, видите, внизу написано 220.
220.
Да. Yes, in our country 220.
Yeah, okay. So in this here, we just,
Вот.
Переходники надо купить, ну, вот.
now watch, this will,
Ой,
so it just comes down easily. It's okay. It's not a problem. No problem. You can cut this and it won't hurt the machine.
okay.
So anyway, this here, we'll give you a little fitting like this.
Yes.
M5.
Yes. You give
Yeah,
us
it'll have a little, it's an M5.
M5.
That means it's, well, I'll show you.
Окей. Короче, вот этот переходник нам дадут. Я так понимаю. Окей. Нужна резьба с M5. Короче, 5 вот
Right
этих
there.
полосочек, наверное, да, M5. Ребят, вопрос такой. Значит, тут вся вот эта штука, Байда, она, извините за слово, она вот такая. Они ее не дают. Говорят, что у вас все такое есть, вам нужно только вот этот маленький переходничок M5. А вот это все у вас типа должно быть. Вот это вот входящий, вот это исходящая трубка. Короче, вот эту трубочку и M5 маленький они дадут, а все остальное, говорят, у вас есть. Если у нас нет, напишите, пожалуйста, что у нас нет и что вы хотите, потому что, говорит, вы должны сами сказать.
The supply, your supply, should be at least 10 millimeters plus.
Короче, записывайте это объяснение, я все забуду.
Should be 10 millimeters, so about that big through the building, maybe bigger. Because your supply to your lathe will be probably 20 millimeters or something, I imagine. So you want large pipes. See these pipes up here? You want large pipes for the air, and then when it gets to the machine, that hose is okay.
Короче, какие-то большие трубы нужны.
И мы это сделали практически. Окей.
Okay.
So you're going to have large pipes around
Yes,
the
we did-
building,
we did it.
and then just small. That hose connects to that. So you're going to have to find an adapter from M5 up to your larger part, but that should be no problem. I think it's all metric, so it should be no problem. I think it'll be fine. We haven't had a problem with that, so I
Okay.
think it'll be fine. So
Так,
In-
заблокировали.
you can see the wax,
Yes.
but inside the wax is about 0.2 millimeters thick.
Внутри там полмиллиметра толщина всего лишь.
Воска, да?
Да, воска.
Толщины воска.
And so now these two are perfectly aligned, which means that the lens is perfectly aligned. We started out like this, the lens on here, then we put it in there and then we block that to it so we know they're perfectly aligned. Now the next step is to go to the lathe to cut the power curve, the front curve, right? So how do we do that? We have this device.
Вот такой девайс для вот.
And you see,
5 секунд его не отделил.
there's no wax in the middle. You see, that's clean.
Cool. Короче, у них вот такая штучка для отделения.
Нужно такой спросить, есть ли на продаже.
Will we
есть?
have this?
Yeah.
Да,
So
there's-
it's actually at the end of the day we'll make sure we got everything on the list for you.
Окей,
'cause
в
you're gonna
конце
need
дня
arbors and stuff.
посмотрим лист, что нам нужно. Окей.
So now, you put this in the lathe. The lathe comes in and touches this surface, and it knows how much to take off to finish the lens. Okay. Now I'm going to have you do the next one. So, or one of you two, I want you to block the next lens.
Очень удобно. Очень удобно.
Ну, Роман, значит, и вы следующую будете блокировать.
Окей.
Okay.
Окей.
Давай.
You take this, and you put it in here.
Так.
Так, вы поставили
Ну, это
спиральную
спиральная
линзу.
линза,
Да, ставите в блокировщик.
Now make sure. Well, that's a little low. Okay. Well, we're going to make an adjustment.
здесь,
Just
да?
just a second,
Да.
because
Заснимите, как он будет.
so this, if you take your hand and put under the, you'll feel a little. See that little thing? We're going to move that up a little bit because this has to move up and down.
Чего там было?
Выше хочешь понять, там это стоит этот стержень. Вот, видите?
Okay.
Чтобы был свободный
So-
ход.
so
А у вас
we're-
не было свободного хода? То есть нужно поменять, чтобы пружинка была, да, чтобы он пружинил?
Ага.
So it just needs a little space there
We need
to be able to. Yeah, it needs to move up and down.
чтобы она двигалась обязательно, чтобы у нее был какой-то запасной ход.
You put that in top. Yep.
Прижимаете, она сама должна блокироваться.
Держим.
Nope. Okay. Well, we'll adjust that too. So this is good learning.
Так, опять
То есть для
проверяем.
склеральной линзы мы все подкручиваем. Для жестких
Ну,
линз
там,
какой-то был
там,
настройка,
видимо,
что-
разные бывают. А мы же еще отключили его от воздуха. We turn off from the air this machine, no?
Is the air hooked up?
No?
It's okay.
Is the air hooked up?
No?
Okay.
Ah,
No, we're
okay.
good. I'm just going to drop this down just a little bit more. Yep, I can run it on down to more. Power's on. Yep. Huh. Well, let's turn this thing off and,
Перезагружаем.
well, something's wrong here.
You... 62 давление.
Давление хорошее.
Manual or collet? No?
There it goes.
А, все-таки он докрутил, да?
Объектный провод поднял,
Ага.
и оно заработало.
We'll make sure that's running properly for you.
Опять перезагружает.
Oh, just a little lower. There we go.
То
Okay.
есть датчик загорелся, если что.
So now you push these.
Так,
Нажимаем
теперь
блок.
нажимаем
Одновременно.
блокировка. Он померил.
20 секунд.
Нет, это он
померил,
померил.
да, теперь заливается.
Теперь наливается воск. Ой,
Oh, I should
where
have
is
put
the
more
wax?
wax on. So there's a few little different things we got to watch for. I'm going
А там
to
был воск?
do this
или
one
нет?
more time. I'm going to do this one more time.
We need a different
Wax. Yeah,
wax.
I'm gonna do that because I don't know. It's these are. That's not bad, but we'll put more wax in this time.
После заново что ли делать?
Говорит,
See that?
маловато воска, потому что это было для жесткой линзы. You don't care about your fingers.
Oh, I got tough fingers.
Ой, сори. Я так понимаю, что разное количество воска для...
And of course, you won't be doing what I did. This all comes off in the ultrasonic cleaner. So I don't. The operator is not going to be doing this. This is not a. You don't do that.
So we need different
Воск так подгоняет.
This-
amount.
That changes the amount of wax. But on your machine, you're going to have a switch here. 1, 2, 3. This machine doesn't have it. We're going to put a 1, 2, 3 pump on there that the operator say, okay, corneal lens we use 1 pump, scleral we use 3 pumps. So let's.
And we don't have it.
Yeah, you will have it on your machine.
We will have it.
You will have
Okay.
the switch here.
Короче,
yeah.
на нашей машине будет такой переключатель, где можно выбирать, это для роговичной линзы, это для склеральной линзы.
Выбирать режимы, да?
Да, и будет разное количество разных
So I'm going to
линз.
make some other adjustments here because right now, you see this is not touching. There's a space there. So we're going to adjust that down. I'm sorry we didn't set this up for you already, but we
Вот что все примитивно.
it's good for you to
Там
know
тоже
now.
такая штука была для регулирования. У них у всех почему-то вот эта штучка регулируется вручную.
So we'll set all this up on your machine when we get it done. Okay, a little bit more.
То есть это стопор такой, да? Чтобы он ниже не опустился. Окей. Ну, так мы поняли во всяком случае.
Okay, there we go. Okay, that's good. So let's do it again here.
Так, нажали на кнопочку,
So that sets the height.
померили.
Измеряй что?
Насколько опуститься?
20 секунд. 20 seconds.
Well, we probably should have used 30 on this one, but when you're doing the sclerals, you just need to know that and change the time.
Для склеральных побольше 30.
So let's see. So you can see the wax is inside there,
Он даже видно по стенке.
and we could have used a little more wax.
Везде.
But so now we put this in here.
И вот таким вот ножом легко это
And we,
отрезается. У Дака было тяжело это отрезать, тут вот 5 секунд.
now you see there's no wax. This is clean, right?
Да.
Чисто.
So then
Это
you
очень
put it
круто.
back in the lathe
This
and
is
you
cool,
cut
yes.
your power curve.
Yeah. Right.
So that's basically that's the procedure for
Yes,
making
this
a
is very
lens.
important.
And then now I'm going to have Andrew talk to you about show you.
Очень удобная вещь, чтобы отделять от кусок блокировки.
You see that? It's a very thin wax.
Yes, absolutely.
Just nice thin layer of wax. Well, they're different. Andrew knows more about that than I do.
Окей.
Different.
Эндрю знает больше. Andrew will ask.
Well, you'll get a bag of it. Well, you need to tell us how much you need
То есть фиолетовая
because you should get probably a year's supply.
Okay. We already have this,
Okay.
but we don't have this, and we don't know what difference of this type.
Is this working for you now, or you don't know? Or I mean, you're not making lenses yet, right?
We have blanks from Cantamac.
Okay.
We have already, and we have wax.
Okay. Well, then you're all set.
Tomorrow, Nurlan can show you what we have. He don't get today
Right.
this.
Right.
Okay.
Well, you can buy it from us because you're Asia kind of, and but there's a man in the UK who sells it. That may be where you got it.
Окей.
Northern Lens, maybe? Do you remember? You buy it from Northern Lens, the wax?
А мы у кого купили воск?
Воск,
Да.
Катамаки покупали, мы, конечно, там тоже.
Кантамак?
Да, у них всё.
Не заготовки, а воск.
Ну, из заготовки воск мы все сами покупали.
Ну, все у Кантамака.
I do want to, I'll show you one more time on this.
Ага.
This adjusts the amount of wax. If you go in like this,
Это регулировка
it's
воска.
increasing the wax amount. So I'm going to reblock this. Let's see, where's the arbors?
Здесь под ключом мы регулируем количество.
Do you still need the grinder set up for grinding slides, or how you?
I think we're done. So you can see that it's a very thin amount of wax. So if I take that out of there,
Господи, как он выковыривает ногтями, я не могу на это смотреть.
see how it's the very uniform wax thickness? That's what I'm talking about. So if you can get that, that's a good idea.
То есть воск должен везде быть белый.
Мало того, что он должен быть везде, он должен быть тонким, ровным слоем. И если у вас арборы все одинаковые, то у вас всегда будет где-то больше воска, где-то меньше воска. Это трудно потом удалить, трудно растворить. Почему еще так трудно было удалить воск, когда мы были в Даке? Потому что там очень толстый слой вот этого воска. И они там плавали, никак мы не могли его отодрать. Потом там оставались кусками воск на поверхности линзы. Здесь же, когда очень тонкий слой, если арборы имеют разную кривизну, то это будет легче удалять, меньше шансов, что линза будет повреждена, поцарапана. И главное, что это будет происходить быстрее. Да?
Come on.
Так, опять не работает.
I'll try this one. Well, it's not quite doing it, is it?
Перезагружай.
What's going on here? Yeah, we have a problem here. I'm not sure what's going on. There we go. Okay. Okay, I get it. Small adjustment, but we'll be okay. Okay. It's got to be turned just a little bit, to get it to work right. Okay. I'm not getting a lot more volume out of that thing, but whatever. But I wanted to show them that it's uniform wax thickness. But anyway, about ready to put you loose on them on calibrating.
Okay.
So we can wrap it up. Yeah, if you look,
It's okay.
you can just barely see the wax in there. That's perfect. See the wax? Just barely. So that's fully. I mean, you could use a little more wax, but if you calculate the volume of that wax, it's only 0.2 millimeters thick in that diameter. It's a very small amount of wax. So this is probably going to last you for a month. That amount of wax in there lasts you probably for a month. So you probably have enough wax to last you for a year.
Окей,
So.
если у вас будет расходоваться меньше этого воска, если у вас будет вот такой тонкий слой. Я думаю, что проблема не в
Вот
этом.
так вот отрезается.
Come on, a little more. Boy, that's really on there. There we go. There we go. Okay. So this is very strong. This way of doing things, and that's a good idea because you want it very strong in the lathe because you're going to take many cuts on this. To cut the base curve, you have to go many cuts, and it takes a long time. So you want to do fairly heavy cuts to start, and then finish with a light cut. And this provides you a very strong holding fixture.
Ask about why this micrometer here.
Well, now it's time for calibration. So now Andrew can demonstrate to you that process.
Это для калибровки. Сейчас Андрей покажет. Эрик, я хотела спросить, что будет, если воска будет недостаточно? What will happen if the wax will be not enough here, not all surface?
Then it'll not support the lens,
Yes.
and you'll have a defect in the lens.
Ага,
So
то есть
you need the full on the base curve. You need the full surface.
Ага. Обязательно на базовой
Like
поверхности.
this one here is too much wax, but it's okay. But you can adjust that. So in your machine, it'll have the three positions, so they don't have to adjust that. It'll just go for sterols and only one for corneals.
То есть если воска будет недостаточно, то поверхность будет неровная. Вот передняя поверхность, она будет неточно выточена, и будут дефекты оптики. Базовую поверхность мы уже выточили, а вот передняя может быть неровной. Thank you.
So I think Andrew can demonstrate the calibration procedure in the space of two things together like this. You can be off like this,
Нужно
or you can be off
совместить.
like that.
Yes, I see.
And
То есть угол и ось должны совпасть.
all of them are very important for no prism in your lens. So this machine, you can calibrate it. So this is perfectly aligned and perfectly like this. And so Andrew's going to show you what we don't use lenses when we're calibrating. So I think that just use two arbors, and you get these. These are just two solid arbors. They're flat, and we block them
Для
together.
калибровки используется два арбора, не линзы, а два арбора, и по ним уже, да, и по ним уже калибруется прибор.
And again, to start, you put this gauge pin. In fact, come here, I'll show you something. These are all full array of gauge pins, and they each have a little number on them. They're hard to read. Yeah, you see right there, it says 399.
399.
These are in inches, but each one, you see the numbers, is what they are. And these are bigger ones. This one is, see it?
5.
Yeah, it's nice. So,
Yes. 5, 5.
right.
3.
So these are precision pins, and this is 0.500, which is 12.7 millimeters. So these are what you get. So the very first thing you do is make sure your lathe, you put this in the lathe, that it's running true like we did over here. So your lathe, you put this in there every morning and make sure it's running true. And if it's not okay, then you take the collet out and clean it.
Ага, короче, если держатель, вот этот колет, каждое утро нужно вот с этим цилиндром проверять и проверять, насколько
See
он,
this?
yes, I see, насколько он правильно работает. То есть не должно быть там плюс-минус 2
А
микрона
мы на чем будем проверять?
на станке,
see the
на
dial
даке.
here?
You put on duck
А,
and make this, и делать это каждое утро. We need this one. And put this stick, and every morning turn this and check and through the stick. То есть два движения, вращение и продольное, для того, чтобы проверить, что все точно. То есть, что эта машина точно крутит, нет смещения ни по оси, нигде, в общем.
So if,
Yes, I get it.
if this is moving a lot, then you need to remove the collet, take it out of the machine.
Окей, если у вас что-то происходит не
And
так,
clean
скорее
it.
всего, туда попал мусор вколет, и нужно вытащить. И помните, там салфеточкой вот с этим спиртом аккуратно все, пылесосом, vacuum and with and clean. Yes.
So,
Okay.
Andrew, I guess I had to adjust the height on that a little bit, so go ahead and set it up the way you want. Tried to get it set up both for squirrels and...
Такую калибровку блокировщика.
Okay, so obviously he showed you how to confirm that your lathe is running true, so that's the first step. And then you want to make sure that your blocker is running true, so that's what these gauges are for. They're both set to 0, and this machine has been previously calibrated, so I'll just show you that we're using our known parts that we know are true and are straight, so they're as close to a gauge pin as possible. So we just do a blocking. That's plenty of wax. So we let the machine go through the process. And then we take this blocked over to our lathe.
Так, теперь эти две штуки, которые были заблокированы, нужно перенести вот сюда на станок.
So we stick this end in here,
Ставим сюда,
and we want to make
закрепляем.
sure we're not hitting the wax. And you want to check on here, make sure that it's reading correctly. And you can see that that
То
is,
есть мы точно так же крутим, как эту железяку крутили, а теперь крутим этот пластиковый арбор.
we call it running out, which is the difference between perfectly cylindrical and a slight offset. And
This setup sheet.
yeah, and so you can see that it is running out roughly, I'd say 8 to 10 microns, which
8 to 10
Yeah.
microns. Is it good?
that is very good.
Это очень хорошо, если от 8 до 10 микрон будет колебание. Мгм.
Yeah.
Until?
Anything less than 20, you can make good lenses with.
Окей, если меньше 20 микрон, то окей, линза будет хорошей.
The other thing you want to check is, so that checks the alignment this way, so how out of round it is. And then on this setup, you can also check the alignment like tilt-wise. So we go like this to check that, and
То
again,
есть мы движемся вдоль
we're
цилиндра
checking
и смотрим, меняется
that,
ли...
and that
Да.
is
Потому что если
almost
меняется, то значит
perfectly
есть,
straight.
то есть
And on
нарушение
another, so we
соответствия.
move it 90 degrees, and we check it again, and that is also, there's that's about 20-ish millimeters, and there is roughly maybe 2 millimeters of movement there, so that's very straight. And you'll notice that there's this line right here on this upper arbor. That's our reference point. So that's our 0 on the machine. So we go back to the machine. We have this degree dial on here. So on this one, we put this on the 0. And we always put it on the 0 so that we know if there's an adjustment that needs to be made, we know where the adjustment needs to happen. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to offset these to show you how to adjust things if any adjustment is needed. So this is the upper one, and you'll see right here, there's a hole.
Дырочка там.
This is a 3/16 inch wrench, which you'll get one of these with your machine. So that fits inside this hole. And we're going to turn it counterclockwise. And you see this number changing?
Yeah.
That is half of the amount that you would read on the lathe. And I'll get into that in a little bit. So let's just move it about 40 microns. 39, that's fine. So we just moved this offset by 40 microns. And so this one, same thing, I'm going to move this one in a clockwise direction. And turn that back on. Come on. Do we die? Do we need a new battery? Probably need a new battery. Well, it's okay. I can put a new battery in it in a little bit, but I'll just turn it that much. So now we will see when we take this back over to the lathe. We'll just block this up real quick. And while that's going, I'll get a new battery.
Вы поняли?
Это один шейд для стеклянной линзы. Ну вот это сказал, сколько не знаю.
Во-первых, я не поняла, сколько там двигать нужно. Во-вторых, я не поняла здесь, в какую сторону крутить, плюс или минус. Поэтому мы сейчас это все посмотрим и сделаем еще раз.
Not the battery. Where's the battery? Well, anyway, there's a new battery for that.
Да, батарея все.
So now, if you remember, it was only moving a little bit, but now it should be moving a lot. So with those two slight adjustments, we are now not able to make a good lens. So when you're turning it, we have our reference mark here. You can barely see it. Let's pull that out a little bit farther. So you can see our reference point. So that's our 0 right there. So when you're turning it, you know that we are getting, so when you push down on this, so we're getting low. So we're low. Our low point is about there. And then our high point is right about there. So based on our 0, we know that our high point is right here, which is 270 degrees. So that means that's where we would make our first adjustment. And also, let's go back over here. So it stops right about there. And then you count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 microns. So that means that we would need to adjust the 90-270 axis by 50 microns. And so how you visualize that is this is off center this way, like that direction, and that was reading 100 microns. If you moved this a full 100 microns, you would be off in the other direction. So you move it half because we're measuring the diameter.
I see.
So we move it half of that reading to get it closer to center, because we're going off of, we want to go concentric to the center, not from the diameter.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay. So we come back here.
Идем обратно, потому что у нас получилось отклонение аж в 100 микрон, даже больше. И
So the high point was on this side, which we look here on the dial, is 270 degrees. So we go 270 degrees, and the amount was 0.100 millimeters. So then the response, half the run out. So that would be 0.50 millimeters, and it's 270. So we go up here, location of the high point, and then we have the high point is at 270, so our response is to turn our wrench in a clockwise manner. So we go clockwise on the arbor chuck. So that's what we'll do. So we'll go clockwise.
Поворачиваем по часовой стрелке.
And since this was already calibrated, going back to 0
И так как
should be
прибор уже
there.
откалиброван,
But
то
normally you would zero this out and move it so that it would read 50 microns right here. So then you pull it out and do it again and see where you're at. So now we would expect to see a high point on the 0, 180 axis because I moved this one. And that's still going.
Три раза повторять одно и то же.
There's that.
Нет.
And I will.
Он показал, что он сначала открутил, показал, что он косенько соединился, показал, что вот такая разница, показал, как они рассчитывают, насколько нужно повернуть, повернул и получил по нулям, потому что изначально прибор уже был настроен. Что-то меня накрывает. Я вроде всю ночь спала, но меня прям это... Видимо, меня не торкает от этой информации, и я просто засыпаю.
There we go. Okay. So now we go back to the lathe.
Ага. Так, мы откалибровали по оси, ну, то есть с отклонением.
I must not, because
Что-то у нас
that
получается.
looks pretty good. So it looks like we're low, maybe there, high there. Let's see. That's
In which place we put this age of this device? We put on near the
yeah. You want to put it close to where you're doing your wax, and
not
You wanna-
here, not here, but
yeah, you want to put it close to there because that's the main area that really matters. As long as your machine is repeating, then this area close to the wax is the most important.
окей. То есть
So,
датчик ставится близко к месту соединения, там, где воск.
So,
Почему? Потому что точится именно в этом месте. Важно, чтобы именно тут было точно и не было отклонений.
okay, so let's just see if we can adjust this.
Сейчас мы вторую штуку тоже
I must have
регулируем.
turned it not enough. That's not. There we go. Now
Господи,
it's moving, so let's just move it a little bit. Let's
мне
call
надо
it.
было идти в какой-нибудь
20.
инженерный институт.
Okay, so now it should be. We should need to make an adjustment on the lower chuck. And again, when we calibrate these machines before we ship them out, so it would be a good idea to check the alignment of the blocker before you start running parts. But very often, they don't move at all during shipping. So it should be pretty good. It should be good to run lenses when you receive it, but obviously you should check it.
Окей.
Или правда, видно для чего этот верхний.
Они калибруются верхние и нижние, колят. Тут два колят верхние и нижние. Я так понимаю, что калибруются верхние и нижние.
Вверху 40, внизу 20
Видите, он...
поставим.
А?
So now we check this again, and you can see that it is out, and that's about what we would expect. I moved it 20 microns, and we have about, there's 10, 20,
Короче, вот он
30,
сместил.
40.
Вот он сместил.
We have a
там,
little bit
и мы
more
видим здесь, что здесь
than
есть
40 microns
отклонение.
of runout, which we had about 10 microns of runout before, and I moved it about 20. So 20 times 2
Two,
would be 40,
40.
plus a little bit more,
Окей.
around 50 or 60 around
Okay.
50, yeah, around 50 microns.
Он
Oh,
отклонил
45-ish
там,
microns.
он
So
отклонил там колет на 20 микрон, соответственно, мы здесь видим колебания в 40 микрон, потому что как только колет отклоняется там на, допустим, 20 микрон, то здесь это умножается на 2 из-за диаметра.
and it looks like we are high right at our mark. So we're high at 0.
То есть он записывает, в какой точке максимальное и минимальное отклонение, вносит это в лист.
So we'll note that. So we got our 0 angle location by about 0.050
Пишет минимальный угол,
millimeters.
максимальный
So
угол.
0.025 millimeters. And
Количество.
high at 0, so we want to go clockwise on the lower check, bottom check.
Соответственно, у него есть какое-то правило, да,
Where's-
по часовой стрелке, против часовой стрелки.
Where
И-
to do? Where to go? Losing
No?
my mind. There it is.
Sorry. Вот, и, соответственно, как бы вот у него есть такое правило, по которому он рассчитывает, куда ему
So
нужно
that would be
покрутить, против часовой
clockwise.
стрелки или по часовой стрелке.
So what
Я,
we'll
честно,
do
нифига не поняла,
is
что
we'll
куда
zero
крутить.
that,
Равную.
and our, it says 25, so
25.
clockwise, so we'll go clockwise until it reads,
И меняет на сколько? На
На
25?
25 стоит, прикинь.
Да, стоит на 25 по часовой стрелке.
25.
Окей.
and we always back it off just a little bit so that the screws are not,
Окей.
they have no force on them, so they're relaxed, so it's staying where it is, and then we'll zero that again, pull that out,
Еще раз обнулиться.
and check to make sure what we
И
just
мы будем
did
проверять. Короче,
is
вот здесь
Okay.
по этому правилу он понимает поворачивать по часовой стрелке или clockwise. This is this direct
yeah,
and
yeah, clockwise would be
and
towards
this is CCW. What does it mean?
counterclockwise or anti-clockwise.
Окей, все в обратную сторону. Окей. На самом деле это несложно. У инженеров все четко пошагово. Вот проверил вот это, сделал вот это. Вот здесь на
Okay.
листочке будет
So
прописано,
now,
куда
when we
крутить.
go back to the lathe, this should be right on.
Вот сейчас мы должны проверить. Значит, мы сделали ошибку, мы ее посчитали, мы ее исправили. И сейчас мы должны проверить
микрометре.
колебания на микрометре, да.
Okay, and
Он около 10
we could probably make it a little bit better, but that's good enough to make lenses.
Not enough?
It is good enough.
Good,
Yeah,
good enough.
yeah, that is okay to make lenses.
Окей.
So, but we
Let's
could probably
predi-
make it a little bit better. So where are we? We're high.
On a corneal lens without changing the setup. The DAC machine has a turret on the side. You have to set, and you have to know which one it is. So I'm not real familiar with that, but it's there for some reason. And we're trying to eliminate the need for the operator to make many decisions. And in fact, I just wrote an article about that. The more decisions the operator needs to make, the potential for making mistakes. So if the machine can operate without any changes, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
And I can give you that. In fact, I have the magazine.
Там нужно менять какую-то штуку, если ты делаешь склеральные и ГПЛ линзы у ДАКа. А здесь ничего менять не надо. Он говорит, таким образом мы пытаемся исключить количество ошибок, которые может сделать оператор.
А мягкие линзы?
Я думаю, мягкие, как склеральные.
Да?
Они же пока точатся, они твердые, а потом они гидратируются.
This is the little contact.
Global Contact, yes. One of these, Irina Norton from Contamact.
So this is all of this is perfectly concentric, right? So that's nice. So when you cut the front curve, it's going to come something like around here. So what you would like is this to be the same. You see, this is not the same. See how I did that? So you can say it's off a little bit. But when you polish that, you're going to get a good lens. So the precision required here is not that high. I mean, you can have a mistake here and then buff that off and have a good lens. But in most other lathes, they cut the base curve like this.
Yeah. Yes,
And
I agree.
And so when you come around on your front surface, you want to come along like this. That has to be perfect. So this requires high precision.
Если ваш станок вытачивает заднюю поверхность и делает край сразу, да, а потом второй резец, ну, как бы в переднюю поверхность, ну, то есть connection вот здесь находится, это не проблема. Почему? Потому что здесь вообще не важно, как тут соединиться. Пациент этого не заметит. Это не повлияет ни на качество зрения, ни на качество края. Но если машина вытачивает вот только до этого места заднюю поверхность, а переднюю поверхность вам тоже нужно до этого места, то здесь очень важна точность. Во-первых, они должны совместиться. Во-вторых, должно быть это комфортно для пациента. Во-вторых, форма края имеет значение. И вот это как бы должно быть более точное точение. Окей.
So the possibility, you'll have a possibility of the front and the back surface being offset in this case, which means the blocking machine and processing is really critical to not have that. But in this case, since you're machining all the way around to here, you have a perfect edge. So it's much more forgiving. So you don't really need that good a blocking here because it's going to be okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So anyway, but the main thing is, we want to get good blocking. We want to provide you a machine that you can set up properly. And also, as manufacturing goes, sometimes you have days that things are not working out very well. This is, it's like if you have a patient that's difficult to fit and you have to refit a few times. Manufacturing's like that. And so if that's the case, you want to be able to look at it and say, okay, here's the possibilities of what's causing the problem. It's either the blocking arbors, or the lathe. So it's a system. So the three elements, the lathe and the blocking arbors and the blocking machine, comprise a system. And any of those can cause problems. And like I said before, if you have a random prism growing like this, it's probably housekeeping. There's probably some dirt in the collet. But if you go like this and you have prism like that, something happened in the blocking machine. And generally, this will be in one axis and a certain amount. It doesn't float around. Unless, like I said, like this collet here, like I said, when we move that, and you put this in here, now it's really tight, and you want to make sure. If we turn that, go ahead and turn that down to about 20 or something, or 10. I'll turn it a little lower. Okay. See, it's not working. That's because it's at low pressure. So you're going to turn it back up to 50, and it'll be fine. And so there's some things to watch. So that's in there really good. And but those are the machinery aspects, and your technician, whoever's running the lab, will keep an eye on this stuff. And but it's very stable, and we're available anytime. You can email us and ask us a question. Videos and serial number on the machine are good when you do that.
Okay.
And because we have an old book here, we got our serial.
And please check it.
How would the work with the blocker holder? Set the collet clamper blocks, adjust the optimal melting temperature of the wax. Okay. Well, we've operated the blocking machine, so that answers this question. So
Yeah, but we see. Okay.
and then
This.
how to calibrate the blocker holder.
One day, week.
Oh, okay. So every day,
Every day, calibration.
no,
No.
every day you
Пишите.
put this pin
Ежедневно.
in the collet. and then you check. You see how that is?
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Okay.
you do that every day.
Every day, okay?
Okay.
Then you make a lens. Well, I would block. Well, this is maybe for the first month or so. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and block the two parts here.
Сначала вот
Oh, we
этот,
ran the air down. Okay. Well, whatever.
сначала вот этот металлический проверяете, а потом ставите вот эту штуку из двух блоков. То есть блокируете два арбора. Сначала проверяете на станке металлический исходник, потом блокируете на блокировщике и проверяете соосность вот этих двух арборов.
So I would block these together, and put them in the lathe.
Монтироваться, да, то есть мы должны сделать вот эту штуку так же, как этот эталон. То есть мы сначала на эталоне проверяем, все ли тут у нас правильно настроено, и если все
потом на
окей,
нем уже, да?
тогда
Всё,
ставим
всё
эту
окей.
штуку.
So always the white with the mark on it goes in.
Обязательно должна быть марка на белой штучке, потому что по ней мы поймем, на каком протяжении, где у нас выше, где ниже, да. То есть, помните, он мерил, говорит, это на 270, это на 90 градусах, это там на 180. То есть, the marks
get
is,
quite a bit there.
the marks is the zero.
Yeah. So we see we got about 20 microns there. I might improve that. But so if you're within 20, you're okay. So if it's 20 or less, it's okay.
20 микрон – это окей. В пределах 20 микрон отклонения – это окей.
So I can adjust that closer. But anyway, so that's what I would do. If that's the furnace for the heat.
Окей, печку включили.
If you do this 2 or 3 times and you're getting this consistent, then I would adjust the blocker. But I think you're going to find that you won't adjust the blocker. But just to check. And then go ahead and make your lenses.
То есть проверяем, работает ли четко блокировщик, правильно ли он блокирует эти штуки, и потом работаем. We will do it every morning.
I think so. Just for the first month or so, just to get it consistent. And then you might do it once a week. But I would do the pin, wherever the pin. I would do this every day.
Ага, значит, вот эту штуку мы проверяем каждый день на станке. Вот это проверяем тоже каждое утро, но потом, если у вас, в принципе, все стабильно, можете раз в неделю проверять. Окей?
So that's
Количество.
yeah.
Вау.
So that's the collet. And you'll see it has, this is fraction, means 0.500 or 12.7. So that's half an inch. This
Полдюйма.
is a special accuracy, ACC. And then
Специальное
this
название.
this is the brand that we buy this collet. We don't make this collet.
Они не делают эти колет, они их заказывают, покупают. How long this collet lives? Forever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now in Kazakhstan, the humidity is pretty low, not very moisture.
Not moisture, very
Okay.
low.
So also in your air system, it'd be zero moisture, right? From the compressor, it should be zero. So from that point of view, this should be fine. In other words, this will rust.
Will rust?
This will tarnish. It will be color
Color.
with time.
Со временем потемнеет.
If it's dry,
Ага, если
it'll be
сухой,
okay.
это окей. Может быть, он имеет в виду, что заржавеет? Сейчас я проверю.
Oh, let me
Ну,
just
это этот,
Rust.
он не заржавеет.
just a second here.
Это же идет.
Нержавейка?
Да,
Ну, я не знаю. Я не знаю. Может, он из обычного железа. Так.
This is grease lubrication. I like that. I'm a big promotion of lubrication. So now we put this in, and we screw it in,
Немножечко смазочки туда.
and then you
И можно закручивать.
run this in. Let me get.
А что за смазочка у нас такая есть?
Ну, там где-то обычно, как смазка.
Да, обычная? Окей, окей.
Что 15
сфоткать? Окей. I will make a picture. Okay.
Okay, now I tighten it tight, okay? So if you remember on the side, there was a groove on the side. Do you remember? There were the slots here. So this has to go into the groove. And you see where it says Hardinge? See that Hardinge?
Hardinge.
The D
D.
lines up with this.
Ого, это важно.
So,
This is important. I
yeah.
will make a
Для
picture.
чего шкалы?
Ну, помните, он показывал, когда вы ставите, чтобы меточка была совпадала
So
на
watch
ось.
this.
Окей. Мы вращаем рукояточку
See, now
и
it
устанавливаем
won't
колет
turn.
таким образом, да, чтобы он
Because
не
this is in
крутился.
there.
Окей, это затягивает колет.
But if I turn this out that far,
Открутили,
then I
можем
can
крутить.
turn it.
And we have to stay collet with letter D, where?
Yeah, right.
Where?
Положить надо, мы
See the D?
D. 90 degree?
Well, yeah. It's different for this one, but the D, you see the D lines up with this.
Короче, D должна быть,
Same here.
короче, вот эта шкала, и
And a way to
буква
check it,
D должна быть прямо напротив вот этой крутилки.
see that?
Yes, I see, yeah. Okay.
So it's not tight.
Это не туго. То есть, если мы
You-
можем
you-
крутить и
You
двигаться...
tighten it and then back it off about a quarter turn. So that when you put this in here, that's like that. See how it moves?
Да, значит, она не закручена. This is not okay.
That's what you want.
That's what you want. Okay.
Yeah. So no rotation, but moves up and down easy. Same thing up here. And that's about it. These 3 screws here are tight. So,
Короче, там тоже 3 винтика, и тоже, в общем, туго затянуты.
but I do, this,
Так вот, можно
that's
проверить.
too much. Don't do that.
Не делать так.
So just do it like this with your fingers.
Пальчиком
it's
только подкрутить,
tight.
этого
It's fine.
достаточно. Не перекручивать.
And there's same thing under here, like this. Like you see these here? They're same under here. But you have to take this off to get to it.
Ой.
But, well, this there's no problem. And I like a little bit of grease here.
В общем, все смазывать. Все смазывать, чтобы все
So-
было двигалось.
When I have a machine, it's really it's full of grease. It's a big mess.
Окей. В общем, все смазывать.
So that's pretty much it. The no other maintenance. So
Так, ничего особенного больше заказывать не нужно. Окей, let's check. Подождите секундочку. Вот это. Так. Тут
spare
все,
parts
да?
in the
Окей.
kit. Yeah,
This is about polish.
polisher. So we can go ahead and
Вот
do
видите,
that.
написано взять с собой белые блоки и одну шайбу воска. Это белые блоки с собой, это вы должны были взять.
Now, do you want white wax?
We have not white. We have white blocks, yes, but we don't get. They take it today. We can show you tomorrow our white blocks.
What's it purpose? Is it for the blocking? Or
For
no?
the blocking, for the check, I don't know how you like calibrate like you. Maybe you tell us is it okay or not to.
Okay, yeah, I'm not. We use the purple wax today, and
Purple.
but we can use the blue wax that you have.
We have a purple
Okay,
wax.
okay, so we'll do that. So I'm not sure what this means.
This is white blocks.
Oh, the blocks.
Blocks, yes.
Okay, blocks. Blocking arbors.
Yes,
Okay.
the arbors.
That's so
Yeah.
you got blocks, we got arbors, we
Yes.
got tools.
Yes.
They're all the same thing.
Okay.
Chucks, they're all the same word.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
So yeah, we need to so many in the year, how many in one day are you going to make? Maybe 50 lenses, do you think, or 100 lenses?
Maybe not so much first time.
Well, okay, we figure one block per lens. So if you're making 50 lenses, you need 50 blocks.
Oh, окей.
Just because. You know.
Окей. Короче, сколько линз вы будете делать в день? Если вы делаете в день 50 линз, то у вас должно быть 50 вот этих блоков, да, для блокировки арборов.
И что, выходит одна блокировка для одной таблетки, что ли?
Ну, в день, да.
И что, выбрасываем потом?
Нет, вы их используете в течение дня. Вот у вас 50 линз, вам нужно 50 здесь заблокировать. Каждая линза стоит на своем листочке, да, и у него каждый свой номер, и они все лежат у вас на столе, чтобы не перепутались. I explain about why we need 15
Yeah, because you're going to be recutting some.
Использовать вообще вот блокировщик.
How long this lives in, how long we can use it?
I don't know, 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
О,
Okay.
My problem was in the past, people would use arbors made of stainless steel and other metals. The problem with metals is that they're soft, and so you damage them, and the surface is not precision. These, you can go like this,
Ой,
like that,
ой,
doesn't do anything.
really?
Yeah, there's no damage.
Короче, это
It
какой-то
bounces back.
материал, который очень тверд, ну, как бы он не ломается.
So
I saw this from iron in Völk. When I
Yeah.
was in Völk, they use iron
right,
arbor.
right, and they, you know, you do this to that, and it's got a dent. You know,
Yes,
it's no
да.
good. And
Okay.
so this is contrary to tooling science. Tooling science means you need hard metal, but this works better.
Wow.
And the other advantage is, say you were cutting along with your diamond, and you cut into this. You cut into iron arbor, your diamond is ruined. This one, it's okay.
Короче, если...
So this is $6. The diamond is what, $400?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Окей, окей.
We don't want to damage the diamond.
Окей, окей. Короче, если резцами резать эту штуку, то я так понимаю, что с ней ничего не случится, а с резцом случится. Не хотелось бы.
And then I think you would recut that for your Ortho K lenses.
Окей. А мы где взяли такие штуки?
заказали мы.
Вот я привозила от Алексея, да? Целый мешок их.
Это вот
Да. А где вы заказали? В России, что ли?
в России. Мне кажется, Алексей сам купил.
Да. Окей. Alex bought for us. Alex...
Half an inch. Let's just see what it is. See that? That's perfect. That's right there. That's 12.7. So you need to verify they're 12.7 and the surface finish. If they're not smooth, if they go like they're no good. So this is important.
Can we show tomorrow our
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
arbor?
you can take this. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
because it's very this precision is very important in your process
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it'll give you random errors. If they vary in size, if they're different sizes, that's no good. So this is important.
Короче, очень важно, чтобы эти штуки были правильно сделаны, нужного размера, потому что если они не будут там точными, то это повлияет на результат. Okay.
So there's two things: the size
Size
and the finish.
and finish. Короче, два показателя важны. Размер, да, то есть какого они размера, и насколько они гладкие. Okay.
So if you take your fingernail and go like this, it's smooth, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if it's not, if it goes like, well, like this here, you go, feel that? You
Yes,
can hear it.
Yes, I see.
If it's like that, it's no good.
But I feel a little bit.
Not much. Okay. So we can do that, or we can.
Готовая линза, да? Такая линза большая.
Это склеральная, наверное. This is-
Склерал линз.
No, no, it's corneal.
Yeah, it's corneal.
It's corneal. Ага.
Специально такая ручка, да?
А, this is plunger.
Yeah. I'm going to try to get it on there a little better.
Это держатель для линзы. Ее нужно зафиксировать.
У нас есть минут?
Will we get it with polish?
This
Okay.
comes with. So this, you see it spins.
То есть здесь крутится вот этот держатель.
So we turn this on. You can turn it very slowly.
Да, мы...
Еще бы вот.
Тут шпиндель, да, и вот он крутится. Окей.
So for base curves, and this for both of this and for scleral lenses, you'll put this will be well. Boy, that's on there good.
А у нас полировщик для поверхности
There.
или для края?
You put this in water, so it's saturated in water. So you have a
Это
little.
надо положить в воду,
Put a bowl of water here,
бутылку с водой, ну, в
and
банку с
then you
водой.
put this on here,
Потом ставим
and
туда.
then you have polishing compound,
Так,
the white paste.
ага. And where we can buy, we
Put
will
that
buy
on
it?
here. Well, yeah, you need to find out if you have it or not, because we can supply, but it's in a gallon. It's in a
Okay.
4 liters.
Окей.
So we'll have to figure that out.
Окей, они нам дадут 4 галлона этой полировки.
Then you turn this
Затем
on
мы-
there.
Ну, короче, вот так мы и полируем.
Probably that
Каждый
much.
лист.
Maybe 5 seconds.
Примерно 5 секунд. Раз, два, три, четыре, пять. Окей.
That'll polish it out.
Все,
Okay.
этого достаточно. Ага.
And then for the front surface,
Для передней поверхности
this on here.
мы меняем на другую насадочку.
You maybe turn that down like that.
Чуть-чуть помедленнее. Переблокируем линзу.
Let's see if I get
Так
this on there.
можно поцарапать.
Ну, если это все делать с твердыми, ну не, мы точно так же на присоску
not
ее
working.
сажаем.
You can change this.
Окей. Ага, меняется местами. Блин, замучаешься так менять вручную это все. Так.
Как клапан да тут.
Окей. The same for sclerals.
Yeah.
Окей.
Присоска присосал линзу и сейчас задней поверхности.
Если получится, мне кажется, что-то у него не очень присасывается.
Также линза может улететь же по идее, да?
Well, for some
Ну,
reason
не
it's
должна,
not
но
sticking.
там
I don't
ванночки
know.
так должна быть держаться.
Okay, so now
Там это все передняя поверхность.
you can
Да.
go like this.
Тоже пасту капнули.
So you can add minus power,
Ага.
like this,
Если вы хотите сделать более минусовую линзу, окей.
or plus power,
Если плюсовую, то вот здесь. Окей,
like
I
that.
see.
Maybe half adapter.
Half adapter.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Well, okay, just a little bit.
Ага.
And that'll polish the front surface. Now, for
That's why sometimes optical power is not the
Как
same.
понять, что он отполировался?
How we understand the
this,
we
you have a
did a good.
lensometer right here.
Ага, на линсметр надо поставить.
So you do that, and then you check it, and then do that.
Okay,
After a few minutes, you'll figure it out.
Окей. Через несколько минут вы пойдете полировщики, это примерно в полдиоптрии можете отполировать, да. То есть вы ставите на радиоскоп, проверяете рефракцию. Если вам нужно убрать полдиоптрии, значит, вы... Ну, в общем, если в центре полируете, вы делаете более минусовую линзу. Если на периферии полируете, делаете более плюсовую линзу.